This is the Covenants and Promises playlist. I mistakenly said Dreams and Visions before. This is Vows Part 2. The Law, Leviticus 7. This is a law of the sacrifice of the peace offerings, which one may offer to the Lord. If he offers it for thanksgiving, he shall offer it with the thanksgiving unleavened cakes mixed with oil, unleavened wafers spread with oil, cakes of fine flour with well mixed oil. With the sacrifice of his peace offerings for thanksgiving, he shall bring his offering with cakes of leavened bread, and of such he shall offer one cake from each offering as an offering to the Lord. It shall belong to the priest, who throws the blood of the peace offerings. And the flesh of the sacrifice of his peace offerings for thanksgiving shall be eaten on the day of his offering. He shall not leave any of it until the morning. But if the sacrifice of his offering is a vow, a votive offering, or free will offering, it shall be eaten on the day that he offers the sacrifice. On the morrow, what remains of it shall be eaten, but what remains of the flesh of the sacrifice on the third day shall be burned with fire. And if any flesh of the sacrifice of his peace offering is eaten on the third day, he who offers it shall not be accepted, neither shall it be credited to him. It shall be an abomination, and he who eats of it shall bear his iniquity. Leviticus 22. The Lord said to Moses, "Say to Aaron and his sons and all the people, when any one of the house of Israel or the sojourners of Israel presents his offering, whether in payment of a vow or as a free will offering offered to the Lord as a burnt offering to be accepted, you shall offer a male without blemish of the bull or of the sheep or of the goats. You shall not offer anything that has a blemish, for it will not be acceptable for you. And when any one offers a sacrifice of peace offerings to the Lord to fulfill a vow or a free will offering from the herd or from the flock to be accepted, it must be perfect. There shall be no blemish in it. Animals that are blind or disabled or mutilated or having a discharge, an itch, or scab, you shall not offer to the Lord, or make of them an offering by fire upon the altar to the Lord. A bull or lamb has part too long or too short, you may present for a free will offering, but for a votive offering, it cannot be accepted. If an animal which has testicles bruised or crushed or torn or cut, you shall not offer to the Lord for a sacrifice within your land. Neither shall you offer as the bread of your God any such animals gotten from a foreigner, since there is a blemish in them because of their mutilation. They will not be accepted for you. Leviticus 23. That talks about the appointed feasts. And line 37 says, "These are the appointed feasts of the Lord, which you shall proclaim as the times of holy convocation, for presenting to the Lord offerings by fire, burnt offerings and cereal offerings, drink offerings, each on its proper day, besides the Sabbath of the Lord, besides your gifts, besides all of your votive offerings, and besides your free will offerings which you give to the Lord." Leviticus 27. The Lord said to Moses, "Say to the people of Israel, when a man makes a special vow of persons to the Lord at your valuation, then your valuation of a male from 20 years up to 60 years old shall be 50 shekels of silver, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. If the person is a female, your valuation shall be 30 shekels. If the person is from 5 years up to 20 years old, your valuation shall be for a male 10 shekels and for a female 10 shekels. Oh, sorry, for a male 20 shekels, for a female 10 shekels. If a person from the month up to 5 years old, your valuation for a male is 5 shekels and for a female 3 shekels of silver. If the person is 60 years old and upward, your valuation for a male shall be 15 shekels and for a female 10 shekels. And if a man is too poor to pay the valuation, he shall bring the person before the priest, and the priest shall value him according to the ability of him who vowed. The priest shall value him. How about Numbers 6? Vows in there quite a long time. This is the vow of the Nazarite. Should I read it? It's already on this channel. The Lord said to Moses, say to the people of Israel, whether a man or a woman makes a special vow, the vow of a Nazarite, to separate himself to the Lord, he shall separate himself from wine and strong drink. He shall drink no vinegar made from wine or strong drink, and he shall not drink any juice from the grapes or eat grapes, fresh or dried. All the days of his separation he shall eat nothing that is produced by the grapevine, not even the seeds or the skins. All the days of his vows of his separation no razor shall come upon his head until the time is completed when he separates himself to the Lord. He shall be holy. He shall let his locks of his hair grow long. All the days that he separates himself to the Lord, he shall not go near a dead body, neither for his father or his mother or his brother or sister if they die. He shall make himself unclean, because he separated himself to God, and it is upon his head all the days of his separation. He is holy to the Lord. If any man dies very suddenly beside him, and he defiles his consecrated head, he shall then shave his head on the day of his cleansing, and on the 7th day he shall shave it, and on the 8th day he shall bring 2 turtle doves, 2 young pigeons to the priest, to the door of the tent of the meeting, and the priest shall offer one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering, and make atonement for him, because he sinned by the reason of the dead body. And he shall consecrate his head on the same day, and separate himself to the Lord for the days of his separation, and bring a male lamb, a year old, for a guilt offering. But the former time shall be void, because his separation was defiled. This is the law of the Nazarite. When the time of his separation has been completed, he shall be brought to the door of the tent of the meeting, and he shall offer his gift to the Lord, 1 male lamb of a year old without blemish for a burnt offering, and 1 ewe lamb, a year old without blemish, for a sin offering, and 1 ram without blemish as a peace offering, and a basket of unleavened bread, of cakes of fine flour mixed with oil, unleavened wafers spread with oil, cereal offerings and their drink offerings, and the priest shall present them before the Lord, an offering for his sin offering and his burnt offerings. And he shall offer the ram as a sacrifice of peace offering to the Lord, with a basket of unleavened bread. The priest shall also offer its cereal offering and its drink offerings. And the Nazarite shall shave his consecrated head at the door of the tent of meeting, and he shall take the hair from his consecrated head and put it on the fire, which is under the sacrifice of the peace offering. And the priest shall take the shoulder of the ram, which, when it is boiled, and 1 of the unleavened cakes out of the basket, and 1 unleavened wafer, and shall put them upon the hands of the Nazarite, after he has shaven the hair off his consecration, and the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. They are a holy portion for the priest, together with the beast that is waved and the thigh that is offered, and after that the Nazarite may drink wine. This is the law of the Nazarite who takes a vow. His offering to the Lord shall be according to his vow as a Nazarite, apart from what else he can afford in accordance with the vow which he takes. So shall he do according to the law for his separation. We got a couple left. Numbers 15. Numbers 15:3. The Lord said to Moses, say to the people of Israel, when you come to the land that you are to inhabit, which I give to you, and you offer to the Lord from the herd or from the flock, an offering by fire or a burnt offering or a sacrifice to fulfill a vow or a freewill offering at your appointed feasts to make a pleasing odor to the Lord. Then he who brings the offering shall offer to the Lord a cereal offering of a tenth of an ephah of fine flour mixed with a fourth of a hin of oil, and wine for a drink offering, a fourth of a hin. And you shall prepare with the burnt offering for the sacrifice of each lamb or a ram. You shall prepare for a cereal offerings 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with a third hin of oil. And for the drink offering you shall also offer a third hin of wine, a pleasing odor to the Lord. And when you prepare a bull for a burnt offering or a sacrifice to fulfill a vow or a peace offering to the Lord, then one shall offer with the bull a cereal offering of 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with a half a hin of oil. And you shall offer for a drink offering a half a hin of wine as an offering by fire, pleasing to the Lord. Numbers 21. When the Canaanite, the king of Arad, who dwelt in Negeb, heard that Israel was coming by the way of the Atharim, he fought against Israel and took some of them captive. And Israel vowed a vow to the Lord and said, "If thou wilt indeed give this people to my hand, then I will utterly destroy the cities." And the Lord hearkened to the voice of Israel, and they gave over the Canaanites, utterly destroyed them and their cities. So the name of the place was called Hormah. Numbers 29. Talks about on the 8th day offer a solemn assembly. It's one of the holidays probably, but these are you shall offer to the Lord on your appointed feasts in your addition to your vow offerings and all your free will offerings, for your burnt offerings and your cereal offerings and your drink offerings and your peace offerings. Numbers 30 has it in there quite a bit. Moses said to the heads of the tribes of the people of Israel, "This is what the Lord has commanded. When a man vows a vow to the Lord or swears an oath to bind himself by a pledge, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeds out of his mouth. Or when a woman vows a vow to the Lord and binds herself by a pledge, while within her father's house, in her youth, and her father hears of her vow and her pledge by which she has bound herself, and says nothing to her, then all the vows shall stand, and every pledge by which she has bound herself shall stand. But if her father expresses disapproval to her on the day that he hears of it, then no vow of hers or pledge by which she has bound herself shall stand, for the Lord will forgive her because her father opposed her. And if she is married to a husband while under her vows or any thoughtless utterance of her lips by which she has bound herself, and the husband hears of it and says nothing to her on the day that he hears of it, then her vows shall stand, and her pledges by which she has bound herself shall stand. But if on the day her husband comes to hear of it and he expresses disapproval, then he shall make void her vow which was on her, and the thoughtless utterance of her lips by which she bound herself, and the Lord will forgive her. But the vow of any widow or a divorced woman or anything by which she has bound herself shall stand against her. And if she vowed in her husband's house or bound herself with a pledge, with an oath, and her husband heard of it and said nothing to her and did not oppose her, then all the vows shall stand. Every pledge by which she bound herself shall stand. But if her husband makes them null and void on the day he hears them, then whatever proceeds out of her lips concerning her vows, concerning her pledge of herself, shall not stand. Her husband has made them void, and the Lord will forgive her. Any vow or any binding oath to afflict herself or her husband may establish her, or her husband may make it void. But if her husband says nothing to her from that day that he establishes all her vows or her pledges that are upon her. And he established them because he said nothing to her on the day that he heard them. We got only a couple left here. Numbers, actually that was Numbers 30, it's probably the last one. Deuteronomy 12. These are the statutes and the ordinances which you shall be careful to do in the land which the Lord God of your fathers has given to you possess all the days that you live. You shall surely destroy all the places where the nations whom you shall dispossess serve their gods, upon the high mountains, on the hills, under every green tree. Tear down their altar, dash in pieces their pillars, burn their Asherim with fire. Ye shall hew down the graven images of their gods, destroy their names out of this place. You shall not do so to the Lord your God, but you shall seek the place where the Lord your God will choose out of all your tribes to put his name and make his habitation there. Thither thou shalt go, and thither you shall bring your burnt offerings and your sacrifices and your tithes and your offerings that you present, your votive offerings, your freewill offerings, the firstlings of your herd, of your flock. And there you shall eat before the Lord your God, and you shall rejoice, you and your households, in all that you undertake, in which the Lord your God has blessed you. And then it goes on. However, you may slaughter and eat flesh within any of your towns as much as you desire, according to the blessings of the Lord your God, which has given you. The unclean and the clean you may eat, the gazelle and the hart. Only you shall not eat the blood. You have to pour it on the earth like water. You may not eat within your towns the tithe of your grain, or of your wine, or of your oil, or the firstlings of your herd or your flock, or any of your votive offerings which you vow, your freewill offerings, or the offerings that you present, but you shall eat them before the Lord your God in the place where the Lord your God will choose. Deuteronomy 23, line 15, you shall not give up to a master a slave who escaped from his master to you. He shall dwell with you in your midst, in the place where he shall choose, within one of your towns where it pleases him best. You shall not oppress him. There shall not be occult prostitutes of the daughter of Israel, neither shall there be cult prostitutes of the sons of Israel. You shall not bring the hire of a harlot or the wages of a dog into the house of your Lord your God in payment for any vow. Both of these are an abomination to the Lord.